I'm Roland Ruiz, General Manager for the Edwards Aquifer Authority. I can say from my perspective that 2024 was a challenging year in the sense that we entered the year in drought, continued throughout the year in drought. Although we had, average rainfall, it did not break the cycle of drought that pre-existed prior to this year. So a lot of 2024 was helping our permit holders manage through this drought, as that's part of what we do. That's core to our mission, is manage, enhance, and protect through drought periods to get us to the next rainy cycle. And so 2024 was focused a lot on that. That said, we made a lot of progress in other areas that maybe aren't quite as visible or top of mind as the drought was. In our research and our science program, we continue to work in the field, collecting data and monitoring and trying to demonstrate and prove up some of the work that we're doing at our field research park. These are soil restoration practices, land management practices that are designed to help the land do a better job of retaining water longer over an extended period of time and naturally cleaning the water before it leaves the property into the creeks and rivers across the recharge zone. So that work continued in earnest throughout 2024. In addition to that, we continue to make progress in the renewal of our Edwards Aquifer Habitat Conservation Plan. Most notably there, we finished work on a climate change modeling initiative that took the global climate models that are out there and we localized them, we downscaled them to the Edwards region to measure whether the conservation measures we have in place through our HCP, whether they'll hold up over this new anticipated changing climate. And the good news was that yes, they seem to continue to do a good job for us. And the proof in the pudding, if you will, is what we see right now. We're in a pretty intense drought period. We will start 2025 in drought again, just like we did 2024. The programs we have in place, our critical periods management, the conservation measures of the HCP, like the voluntary irrigation suspension program option, all those programs appear to be doing what they were designed to do. And that is to help mitigate the harshest effects of a prolonged and intense drought. And so spring flows continue to flow, albeit at lower levels, they continue to flow nonetheless, and that is what we're trying to do to ensure that species habitats continue to be protected and maintained. So in so much as 2024 had those challenges, we also were able to take towards the latter part of the year and really do some more outward focused, what I would call marketing or image management. We went through a rebranding, developing a new logo that takes into account all the work we've been doing over the past several years, so kind of the behind the scenes work that we've been doing through our science and research, through all the work that sometimes goes unnoticed because it's behind the scenes. And we try to encapsulate that and capture that in a new logo that really speaks more towards a innovative, inclusive type of approach moving forward. And so we unveiled a new logo. We are working and finished the initial phases of a website redesign that folks will see in 2025 that'll incorporate the logo, it'll incorporate our branding messaging. And so 2025 will continue to be, much like 2024, challenging in the sense that we will start in drought, but it'll also be exciting because we will have a new look to our work, outward looking to people who engage with us through social media, through our website and such. They will see the EAA hopefully in a more contemporary, modern, futuristic look with our logo and rebranding. In addition to that, this past year in 2024, we held our second annual EAA Summit. This was a coming together of people from across the region, stakeholders, policymakers, decision makers, who we invited to come and learn about what we're doing at the EAA. Hopefully will be a recurring annual event where we engage with the community and the people that are most affected by what we do. And it's just another way for us to be inclusive, to be open, to be transparent, and invite people into the mission. And our mission, again, hasn't changed, but as we move down the road into 2025 and beyond, if we're successful, the mission continues to become more personal for people because we're inviting them to join the mission. And as they do that, they become stewards themselves of our work. It's not just the EAA doing this work. If we're going to have a sustainable Edwards Aquifer for the long term, that means that Our best work will have been in equipping people with information, with education, with the scientific data, so that they can themselves be effective in managing this resource through their daily activities. So that's what 2024 looked like. That's what 2025 holds for us. And I feel confident that we have the right resources in place. We have the attitude to be available to people and to help us manage through this drought. However long it may persist, we have a building body of evidence that shows that critical period management, conservation measures that we have in place all work. We don't have a silver bullet to do away with drought. Mother Nature has to do that through bringing more rain. But in those times where there's a deficit of rainfall, we have tools in place to help us maintain and sustain the aquifer, to ensure that spring flows continue, to ensure that we're meeting our requirements under Endangered Species Act, and just as importantly, that we're doing what we can to extend the sustainability of the Edwards, the people who depend on it, even through drought. Even though we're more limited, the aquifer remains a sustainable resource that will recover when the rain does come.